Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. We're picking things off today with a really unsettling story, something that's hit both the paranormal community and, yeah, even mainstream news pretty hard.
Yeah, it's one of those stories that just grips you. Imagine someone so closely tied to, well, one of horror's biggest symbols. Now they're part of this strange, true mystery.
Exactly. Our deep dive today focuses on the sudden and, frankly, mysterious death of Dan Rivera. If you follow the supernatural world at all, you'll know that name.
Oh, absolutely. He was the lead paranormal investigator people knew, and maybe most famously, the main handler for the infamous Annabelle doll.
And for this dive, we pulled together quite a bit for you. We've got, official police reports, news articles, lots of those.
And also personal tributes, which are quite moving, and just that constant buzz on social media. It all paints a picture, but it's complicated. Lots of speculation mixed in.
Right. So our mission here is pretty clear.
Mhm.
Let's walk through the confirmed facts as much as we know them. Let's try and understand who Dan Rivera really was beyond the headlines.
And look at the whole Annabelle legend, the tour he was leading, and then really dig into all the reactions and, well, the theories swirling around.
Yeah, we want to help you unpack what's important, what's a fact, what's maybe something else in this whole unsettling situation.
So the core event, the shock, is Dan Rivera's sudden death. He was only 54, lead investigator for NESTR, that's the New England Society for Psychic Research.
Right, the Warrens group
Yeah.
and the guy taking care of Annabelle. He died July 13th, 2025.
And the circumstances are, well, stark. He was found unresponsive in his hotel room. This was in Strabane Township, Adams County, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Right after finishing one of his Devils on the Run tour events there.
Exactly. Emergency services came. First responders tried CPR, but sadly, they couldn't revive him.
In the official line, what are the police saying?
The Pennsylvania State Police put out a statement. They said, and this is a quote, "Nothing unusual or suspicious was observed at the scene. No foul play suspected."
Okay, but the official cause of death.
Still pending. They're waiting on the autopsy results, and apparently that could take several months.
Which, for someone connected to things like Annabelle, that official, nothing unusual answer,
Yeah.
does that really quiet things down? Or does it just kind of stir the pot more?
I think it definitely fuels more questions for a lot of people. I mean,
Mhm.
the reaction from his colleagues was immediate and just raw grief.
Yeah.
Chris Gillerin, another investigator at NESPR, he announced it with deep sadness, said they were heartbroken and still processing this loss. And NESPR as a whole said they were devastated.
Wow. You can feel the weight there. He clearly meant a lot to them.
Absolutely. Shows the impact he had.
So, okay, beyond being the Annabelle guy, who was Dan Rivera, you mentioned he was a veteran.
Yeah, U.S. Army veteran, born and raised in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
And his interest in the paranormal, was that always there?
It seems like it. Apparently it started really young. He witnessed things, unexplained stuff in his own house as a kid. And that sparked what sources call an insatiable curiosity. Led him down the path. Over a decade of research into this stuff. It wasn't just a job for him, it sounds like.
More like a calling, maybe. Driven by his own experiences.
Seems that way. He joined NESPR back in 2011, became their lead investigator, and NESPR, as you said, founded by Ed and Lorraine Warren. Big names.
Huge. And wasn't there a connection there?
Yeah.
With Lorraine?
There was. Apparently, Lorraine Warren herself mentored him in her final years, like a direct passing of the torch, you know?
Wow, that's significant.
Yeah.
Especially trusting him with her occult museum collection. That says a lot.
It really does. And people described him, his public persona, as having this engaging and charismatic style. Like he genuinely wanted to educate, help, and connect with others. His son, David, gave a more personal view, too.
Oh, yeah, what did he say?
Called him a dedicated father and loving husband who lit up every room with his smile, kindness, and sarcastic, witty humor. Also mentioned he loved classic cars, camping, family time.
It gives you a much fuller picture, doesn't it? Beyond the ghost hunting. A regular guy, family man, makes his death feel even more sudden and relatable somehow.
Definitely. Hits different when you hear those details.
And he wasn't just doing local investigations, right? He was involved in media, too.
Yeah, he branched out, appeared on the Travel Channel's Most Haunted Places. He was even a producer on that Netflix show, 28 Days Haunted.
Oh, right. I remember that one.
And he co-founded Paracon, a paranormal convention. So he was definitely trying to bring this stuff more into the mainstream, maybe legitimize it a bit.
Interesting. And what about his own beliefs? I mean, dealing with something like Annabelle.
That's a crucial part. He was apparently an expert in rites and rituals of Santeria. And he used that knowledge in his protective practices.
Antaria, really, for protection.
Yeah, he absolutely believed Annabelle had, quote, all the power to harm them if someone approached with bad intentions. He called the doll a demonic presence that does not like the human form. He wasn't messing around with his beliefs.
So he truly felt he was dealing with something dangerous, something demonic. He used specific rituals. That's intense. How did that belief, affect how he handled the doll day to day?
It dictated everything, it seems. He even shared this really chilling personal story from 2022.
What happened?
After moving the doll just for repairs, he said he suddenly got severe leg shaking, cold sweats, had to physically leave the museum, said he'd never felt anything like that before.
Whoa. Coming from him, someone steeped in this world.
Yeah.
That's pretty telling. It wasn't just theatrics for him.
It really underscores how deeply he believed it. He felt he'd experienced its power directly.
Okay, so we've talked about Dan Rivera, the man. But we can't really understand his story without talking about her, the Annabelle doll.
Right. The center of so much of this.
How did this doll, originally a Raggedy Ann, become this, global symbol of horror?
Well, the origin story, the one the Warrens told, is that it was given to a nursing student named Donna. Then things started getting weird. The doll moving, notes appearing.
Yeah, the classic creepy doll stuff.
Increasingly disturbing stuff, apparently, which is when Ed and Lorraine Warren got involved. They concluded it was basically inhuman, demonic, and they took the doll, secured it.
And from there to movie star.
Pretty much. The Conjuring films, starting in 2013, they launched her into pop culture superstardom, then her own spin-off movies. Annabelle, Creation, Annabelle Comes Home. Even people who know nothing about the real case know the movie doll.
So where does the real doll live? Is it still in that museum?
Yeah, her permanent home is the Warrens Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut. Kept inside a specially built, sealed glass case. You couldn't just walk up and see her, even when the museum was open to the public.
But the museum closed a few years back, right? 2019.
It did, and that's where Rivera really stepped up. He was key in bringing artifacts from the museum, including Annabelle, out on tour. These exhibitions, like Devils on the Run, it was his way to keep the Warrens' work, their legacy, visible.
Taking Annabelle on the road, how did they handle security for that, given what he believed about it?
Very, very carefully. NESPR is adamant the doll travels only under strict NESPR supervision. Always control.
And the case she travels in.
Rivera actually built that himself, her protective display case. It had 3 crosses on it stained with holy water, specifically designed, they said, to shield people from any alleged paranormal influence.
Wow. A mobile containment unit, basically.
Pretty much. And these tours were hugely popular. That Gettysburg event where he passed away, sold out. Over 12,260 people attended.
Big crowd.
Huge. The tour got tons of viral attention online, especially after Rivera himself had to jump on TikTok back in May 2025 to shoot down rumors that Annabelle had somehow gotten loose in Louisiana.
Oh, I remember hearing something about that, so he personally debunked it.
Yeah, showed a video of her safe and sound in the museum, which ironically probably just boosted interest in the tour even more.
And the tour?
Yeah.
Is it still going on after his death?
NESPR says yes. They've stated the Devils on the Run tour will continue in his honor. They have stops planned in Maine, Illinois, Kentucky.
The show must go on indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, now we get into the really murky part. The unanswered questions, the speculation. Officials say nothing unusual or suspicious, but no cause of death yet.
Exactly. And that lack of a clear official answer is just fanning the flames of public curiosity. And, well, theories. Lots of theories.
And there was that detail about the doll's location when he was found, right?
Right. That gets brought up a lot. Annabelle was not in the hotel room with him. Police speculated maybe she was in his van out in the parking lot, but that's just speculation, not confirmed.
Still, that detail, for some, maybe it rules out direct doll involvement. For others, maybe just makes it weirder.
It adds another layer, for sure. And the range of theories online is just wild.
I can only imagine. What are people saying?
Everything. You've got the more grounded explanations, maybe a heart attack, some undiagnosed condition, things that sadly happen to men in their 50s. People debate that online quite a bit.
Like a natural causes angle.
Then you swing way over to the paranormal side. The doll got him. Demons! Even Satan snatched his soul. Really dramatic stuff.
Yeah, that's intense.
There are also some less common theories floated, like drug overdose or suicide. But let's be really clear. There's zero official evidence or support for those. Nothing.
Okay, important clarification. But it's fascinating how that information vacuum just gets filled, isn't it? From the completely ordinary to the absolutely supernatural. People need an explanation, especially for someone like Rivera.
It really shows our need to make sense of the sudden, the unexplained, especially when it involves someone so linked to the unknown.
And then there are those, let's call them coincidences.
Yeah.
Things that add to the atmosphere.
Definitely. Like the location, his death happened in Gettysburg.
That has its own reputation.
A massive reputation, one of the most haunted places on Earth. But paranormal fans, that location itself feels significant, like part of the story.
And the timing. Wasn't there something about a movie?
Yeah, the timing. His death was relatively close to the upcoming release date for The Conjuring. Last Rites, which was scheduled for September 5th, 2025. For some, that's just a weird coincidence. For others, it feels like a particularly unsettling piece of synchronicity. Adds to the whole mystique.
Beyond all the theories, though, the grief seems genuine. You mentioned his colleagues.
Absolutely. The outpouring of tributes from the paranormal community was huge. Ryan Buell, another investigator, he specifically mentioned Rivera's quieter work, helping families dealing with hauntings, stuff the public maybe didn't see.
Ah, so behind-the-scenes work, too.
Yeah. Buell mourned his unfinished dreams and ideas for the future. It really paints a picture of a loss felt on multiple levels, personal and professional.
And there's a very practical, sad reality to this, too, right? Something about finances.
Yeah, that really brings it down to earth. His son, David, started a GoFundMe. Apparently, Dan didn't have a life insurance policy, so the family needed help with funeral costs and supporting his 4 sons.
Oh, wow. That just highlights how sudden and unexpected this really was for them.
Yeah.
Terribly sad.
Really does. Puts the human cost right in front of you.
So wrapping up this deep dive, where does that leave us? We have the confirmed facts. A tragic, sudden death. We have the life story of this really dedicated investigator who, by all accounts, deeply believed in what he did.
And then you have the Annabelle doll, this object of fascination and fear, still out there, still touring, surrounded by this enduring mystique. It's this mix of real sorrow and, well, supernatural chills.
It really is. And Dan Rivera himself, he seemed to have a perspective on legacy. You found a quote.
Yeah, something he posted back in 2020. It's quite powerful, especially now. He wrote, "In life, we leave a piece of ourselves with loved ones and friends. Those pieces will always be remembered. So I say I will never die. My journey has only begun."
Wow. My journey has only begun. That hits differently now.
It really does.
So leaves us with the thought, maybe for you listening, given Dan Rivera's own strong beliefs, the experiences he shared, the stories he helped tell, what does his own unexpected end suggest about that line between what we know and what we don't?
Yeah, how do we choose to interpret these events when there's no easy answer? And thinking about that quote, what kind of legacy do you hope to leave? Whether it's in the everyday world or, maybe in exploring those unexplained corners, makes you think, doesn't it?